Good morning, good morning. I hope everyone is well today. I am fantastic. Got a little bit of life going on around me. Got dogs barking outside and birds chirping and tea brewing. Got my lovely tea right here. This is a peach honey tea that my adopted mama gave me the other day, and it is so good. I paired it with my cinnamon tea, but I ran out of my cinnamon tea. But that was a really good combination, doing 1 tea bag of the cinnamon tea and then 1 tea bag of the peach honey. So good, so good. Today, I am making a vintage style stoneware bowl using a Dollar Tree bowl and some of the Crayola like air dry clay. I forget what it's called. It's something catchy. I forget the name of it. Anyways, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Sandra Waldrop. You are on Kingdom Acres Live. And today I will be crafting, and I'm trying to come on twice a week, Mondays and Fridays usually, but tomorrow is my husband's birthday, so I decided to do Thursday this week instead of Friday. But it looks like he's gonna have to work now. He was supposed to be off tomorrow, but anyways, we're doing this today, and that way if I have my husband's time at all tomorrow, I'll get to do some fun things with him, hopefully. So anyways, good morning, Miss Shara. How are you? Thank you for hopping on with me. So I got this bowl from Dollar Tree. It's just a clear glass bowl, nothing special about it, but I'm going to make it into a stoneware style bowl that will fit more into my decor up here. Normally they're big mixing bowls, and they're kind of a creamy white color with the blue band around it and a nice thick edging on it. And so this glass bowl does not look like that. We're gonna make it look like that. But yeah, they're usually a mixing bowl size, and my area right now, it's a mess. Right now it's just, you can see I have not pulled everything off since Christmas and redecorated and made everything look more aesthetic. Like I've got like my camera bag sitting here. Everything is just kind of messy right now, unless I do like a little area and zoom in to the picture and make that part look perfect, picture perfect for social media. But right, if the bigger picture, you see my real life mess. This is my real life mess right now. I have not pulled everything off and dusted and made it pretty. So we're gonna be doing that. After I finish up with this live, I'm gonna hop on over to TikTok, and I will be going live to do that. I will be cleaning this shelf off and decorating with my bowl that we are going to redo today. And so it's gonna be a ton of fun. If you had joined me previously, or you caught the replay on my stoneware crock lamp, then you will be familiar with some of the techniques that I'll be using today on this bowl. It's not going to be exact, obviously, because I'm making something different, but it's still that, that style and the same techniques. I'm putting clay on glass, and hopefully this clay is not dried out. It's feeling kind of like it's dried out a little bit. No, I can still form it. It's good. You never know with this foam clay how it's going to be holding up, but it feels like it's okay. I had it back there in my cold sunroom that doesn't have much like insulation, so it's like trying to tear on me and stuff. I probably need a better container than just a baggie so that it won't dry out completely on me. But so there's a little storage tip for you. Do better with storage on your clay than I have. So I'm just going to roll it with my hands into a snake, and I'm just trying to get it to where it'll go around my bowl, the top part of my bowl. And let's see here. Smoosh it. It's a very technical term. If you are needing some artsy technical terms, smoosh. That's what I'm doing here. I'm smooshing the clay. Let me move this up a bit. Push over my tea, my yummy tea there. I've been loving this cold weather and having my fireplace going, and all that nice fun winter stuff, but it has a tendency to dry out the air in my home, and therefore it dries out like my sinuses and my throat. So I'm having a little bit of tea here this morning. Gotta keep it to where I can talk and say things to you. Otherwise, I'll just be miming this whole video. And okay. So when I did the crock, I used a pickle jar. And so it had like a lip, like this is a pickle jar. It had a lip, right, to where I could just kind of push it on there and it would stay. So this does not have that. So I'm just flipping it over and pushing it onto the glass. And I'm going to use a little bit of water here. Move this towards me. Maybe I need to move my camera down just a tad so y'all can see better. I'm going to see how this goes. Maybe I need to wet the bowl a bit to help it. And hopefully this will work out the same way the other one did. I'm going to push it over the top part of the bowl some, so that will help it grab. And which I had planned to do anyways, but it's just gonna give me a little bit, it's gonna give me less of a headache if I go ahead and do it now. So just laying it on there, helping it grab. Hope everybody's doing well. It's cold again this morning, and I saw on good old Facebook on the news page last night that we were supposed to have like frozen fog this morning. That does not sound very fun. It does not sound like Texas. I mean, fog sounds like Texas. Frozen fog is not Texas. That sounds like, I don't know, somewhere else. I've never heard of frozen fog before. So I hope everybody was safe this morning if you're back driving to work. I had anticipated my husband just kind of having this week off, but they had like a weird incident yesterday. I guess the pipe where in East Bernard did not like the cold, and the metal contracted oddly, and it caused a gas line rupture. So it was on the news. If you want to look that up, East Bernard gas line rupture. So it was like the afternoon. He had been home all day, all morning, and he got a text message that he was needed at work. So he went ahead and changed out of his cozy home clothes and saddled up, went on down yonder to go handle all that stuff. And so that's where he's at today, getting that all handled. And so I had a lot that I could have worried about yesterday, but I knew that the Lord had his safety in his hands, and there's nothing I can do. But my husband kept me updated on everything that, you know, he could legally, but just like his safety and everything, that because he knew that he knows my mental state about him working in that, in his field. Okay, so I'm just kind of trying to push it around on my little tray here a little bit. I'm trying to keep it to where y'all can see it. Maybe I'm gonna tilt my camera down a little bit so y'all can see me a little bit better. There we go. Look, now you're not just seeing my face. Hey, I'm actually doing something down here with my hands. So there's some water on my fingers, and I'm just smoothing this out. I'm just trying to help it along here. Make it look a little fancy. And again, I'm just like with the stoneware crock, I'm gonna go over this with something to give it texture. You can see, I love working with clay. When I was in high school, I took a sculpture class, and that stayed with me. I love working with clay. I have in the past harvested some of the clay here on our property, which was not the easiest to work with. Raw clay is different. So, but I'm working on it. I'm working on figuring that out, because there is, I love primitive decor. And how can you get any more primitive than, you know, land harvested clay decor that you've made with your own hands? That'd be really cool. So I'm looking forward to figuring that life out. And let's see here. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. Does that not look like the ridge on a stoneware bowl? You're going to hear kids coming in and out and stuff because they're all getting ready for our day. We've got a few other things going on today. So this is real life though, right? Y'all know that I've got kids and other people live here, and I'm not just a lady on a screen. Good morning, Miss Annelle. How are you? I hope all of your animals are doing well in this cold weather. Man, I just want to bring my ducks in. Morning, Erin. Love you. I just want to bring my ducks in this weather. But there's a cat that just jumped over here on the table. I've got one duck that our little dog had gotten. Please don't be over here. Had plucked out some of the feathers on its back, and so it has exposed skin. And so we've had heating lamps out there and everything, and I went out there to check on it, and that duck had its butt backed all the way up into the heating lamp. Okay, well, but then yesterday morning? Yes, yesterday morning we lost power, and I looked at my phone and it was still below freezing, and I said, no, my duck will go into shock and die. So we went out there and frightened it by shooing all the rest of the birds out of the coop and cornering that one. and putting it in a box and bringing it inside. And at one point, my husband just wanted to check on this poor little duck. And he moved the box to peek over at it. And that duck just panicked, jumped right out of that box, and took off running through my house. And I was just dying laughing. It was hilarious. Let's see here. There we go. I'm trying to pick this bowl up. It was really close to the edge. So I'm just moving my hand around, smoothing this clay out, trying to get it all to kind of an even width on this bowl. And yeah, but it was so funny. So there went my husband running through the house after this duck. I was like, you can't let a duck loose in my house. Like, I'm good with bunnies being loose. Some of the male dogs are real bad. You can't let them loose in the house. But, you know, cats, like, we've had all kinds of animals loose in our house at one point or another. A pony. But ducks are very messy, and they are not the best house guests. So I was like, no, we got to catch this duck. So he caught him and put him back. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. It quacks. It doesn't scream. So I'm assuming a girl. We haven't gotten any eggs yet, though. But I'm just assuming that it's a psychological thing at this point. Because we had them in a lean-to since they were little baby ducklings. And we had gone out of town at one point, and we had to house them with some really mean hens, some really mean chicken hens. And so they were uncomfortable with that. And then we moved the hens out when we got home. And I think that lean-to was just like too dark, like they weren't getting enough sunlight. So they hadn't laid. Now we have them in the backyard, and everything was going well. Even the chickens, like, they got really productive with their eggs when we moved everybody into the backyard. And so I'm assuming that the ducks were fixing to start laying, and then the dogs went back there and traumatized them. So I'm waiting for them to recover from that, for the down feathers to grow back on my ducks that lost feathers. But it's really the one that they keep. Well, it's happened twice now. Not keep, but we've arranged some situations to keep the dogs out as best we can, unless the dogs figure out a way to get around that. Sweetheart, would you get me a paper towel? I forgot to grab paper towels. It's sectioned on. Oh, there we go.
Mommy, where are they?
They should be hanging up.
They're not.
They're not? In the extended pantry. So I'm really loving this nice, clean line on top. You see that? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I like. I'm okay with it not being perfect because, again, this is decor. It's not actually going to be used as like the mixing bowl. Thank you, love. It did pick up some coloring off of my tray because I use this tray for lots of crafting, usually staining things with my coffee grunge. But okay, so I've got that going. Now I just want to fix this bottom line because it's a little up and downy. Grab the cat, please. This kitten is so nosy. Curiosity killed the cat. Shoo. So I'm just going to take one of my popsicle sticks here and see if I can kind of smooth it out a bit and get myself a nice clean line and trim off any excess that I need to trim. It's okay, again, it's okay if it's not perfect, but I just really want to get it as good as I can get it, which I am not perfect at much, so this should be a pretty easy task to get it. Good morning, Miss Nancy. I hope all is well where you're from. I haven't seen you on before. Where are you from, Miss Nancy? So I'm just smoothing this out on the bottom. And okay, see, it looks so much better using this little popsicle stick and just working it around. Trying to do this somewhat quickly because I don't want to keep y'all on here all day. And I've got a few things going on today, so I really can't keep you guys on all day. I would love to like just not have to clean my house or do any of my other responsibilities and just stay on here and craft the day away with y'all, because that sounds much funner than dishes. But at some point we have to have clean dishes, right? So I'm really hoping that 2025 is my year of having a clean kitchen. Just like clean all the time. I would love for it to be clean. But I've been struggling. That didn't want to stay on there. That's okay. And now I'm just going to push this down inside. We've got a dog in my daughter's bedroom. You're probably going to hear a dog scratching at the door. But that's one of the ones that enjoys traumatizing my ducks. So I'm just going to pull off this excess inside, and then when we go over it with the podge, it'll secure it. So this is what it looks like from the top. It's okay if it's a little squirrely from the top. You're going to be looking at it like this from the shelf, and even having some little curves on there is not that big of a deal. It's all right. This is handmade, and when you're placing it on your shelf, you're going to be strategic anyways. We always are, even with store-bought like robot and machine manufactured stuff. We are strategic. So I got my top on there for my stoneware, faux stoneware bowl. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this back over on here again. And I'm going to see about doing a little bit around the bottom. Hopefully that doesn't add too much to my time. But I just want like a little rim. And it's a little something something on the bottom. I don't know if it'll stay because we don't have a ledge for it to grab onto. So we're going to see if we can make it work. If not, that's okay too. I love lives because y'all get to see me be human, and you don't get, you're not just seeing the fancy finished product of, oh, look what I made. You also get to see that not everything I try works, and that's normal life, right? Not everything works the first time. So, I don't know if this is going to want to stay for me. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. For the sake of time, I'm just going to leave that off. But I might try and find a technique for that later. And when I do another craft of this style, I'll be able to figure that out. Okay, so I've got this. I'm going to dry this off a tad so that it can stop suctioning, hopefully. There we go. And I'll lay that back down. And now I'm going to paint. Got my paintbrush. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use my craft paint. Please put that kitten outside, my love. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it is air dry clay, Miss April. Good morning. Yes, it is the Crayola air dry clay. I forget what it's called exactly. I can't remember. It's something catchy, but I can leave a link to it in the comments if you're interested in knowing exactly which clay it is. But yes, it's the Crayola air dry stuff. So, and no, I'm not sponsored, though I wouldn't mind being sponsored. So, I'm just going on here with the Waverly chalk paint. You can find it at Walmart. Just for not very expensive at all, especially considering how many crafts you can get out of one jar of this stuff. I get one and it just goes forever, it seems. So, and the reason I'm painting this bowl is because I'm going to use I'm going to use tea bags on it. I was getting a call, so hopefully that did not disrupt the live. But yes, oh yes, you should get some. So much fun. Okay, so the tea bags that I use are somewhat see-through, and I just want to have it kind of the same opacity for when the light hits it. And I did not bring my blow dryer. Will you bring me my blow dryer from the back room, please? That's what I forgot. I knew I was going to forget stuff. The first time I went live, I was like hyper diligent. I was like, I really have to have like everything at my fingertips. And then the second time I was like, oh man, I forgot this. And now I'm not as nervous for my live coming back on. So I'm like, you know, just gathering my stuff without like any like real sense of urgency and like thinking through everything 100%, which I'm so bad about that. Oh, thank you, love. Brought me a blow dryer. Woohoo!
Where is it?
It's okay. Lily brought me hers. Here we go. So a lot of crafters have these fancy heat tools and, you know, all these like designated things, and I'm not that fancy yet. I'm still just kind of working with what I got. That's fine. So I'm just hitting this with the blow dryer to help it along with the drying. And it shouldn't take very long at all. We did not do very much paint on this. And so it should not take very long. Well, what are y'all up to today? I hope y'all have a good day planned. Some fun outside in the sun, hopefully. Man, it's been just so cold. But I was actually able to go out and let my chickens and ducks out this morning without bundling up. So that was nice. My poor little plucked duck out there was under the heating lamp again, just trying to stay warm. And when I went out there, it ran for the hills because that thing did not want to come back in with me. Okay, so I've got these tea bags. If you drink tea and you make, you know, your big batches. Oh, MAFA is canceled. Yes, MAFA is a homeschool group here locally. They meet on Thursdays. Oh my goodness. I hope that you schedule in some time between the crazy to have some fun with the boys. But I get these on Amazon. You can get them for like, I don't know, like a 500 pack for like $10 or something stupid, like cheap like that. Or if you make the big pitchers of tea, this is Texas after all. If you make the big pitchers of tea, then you probably already have the tea bags and stuff, and you can just like let it dry out, open it up, dump out the tea, and those tea bags stained like that turn out so cool. Tracy uses that technique over on her page, My Sweet Home Living. She has some really fantastic tips over there, so I love it. She is very inspiring when it comes to primitive decor. I love her page, and she's so funny. So anyways, so I am going to use, again, Miss Tracy's recipe of coffee podge. Hopefully I don't dump this all over myself. Maybe I just like bang it and break loose the glue. I need, I should have broke it up. There we go. There we go. It's always when my big strong man is at work when I need something of this nature opened. Okay, I'm just going to use my little popsicle stick and get that all mixed up, because sometimes that Mod Podge likes to settle. So if you see, this is my coffee podge. So it is a mixture of the coffee grunge with Mod Podge. And I think Tracy actually uses white glue. I have not purchased like a gallon jug of white glue. When my big thing here of Mod Podge is done, then I will go ahead and get like a gallon jug or whatever of the white school glue. So, but she's got the recipe over on her page, and I'm just going to go ahead and basically decoupage this little tea bag onto my bowl. And I'm going to do on the bottom first before I do the top. That way I only have to flip the bowl once, and I can dry it all before I flip it. So anyways, y'all are going to the library. I hope they have something fun for y'all. The West Columbia Library is itty bitty. We've gone a few times, but we just always have stuff to do here. For a while though, Emma was, my oldest daughter Emma, for those of y'all who don't know her, she volunteered at that library over here, so in West Columbia, and she really loved it. Really sweet people who really sweet people who work at the library here. She was the volunteer, but she's also sweet. My sweet girl. And that was fun. I used to love when all my kids were little and going and doing stuff. My poor youngest child kind of got the raw end of things, because now that the older ones are older, we don't really do all the cool stuff that we used to do. And last year I had tried to get into doing park days for the homeschool group, and it got harder and harder with my schedule. So maybe 2025 will be a park day year for us. But that only the Lord knows for sure, because I am just, I'm always running to go do something. And then I lay down at night and I'm like, I should really do this. And then I start thinking of all the different things, and then I start researching and planning, and people are like, when do you have the time to be doing all this stuff? I'm like, well, the time comes when I should be sleeping. But thankfully, I really don't need that much sleep. I'm not a person who needs a whole lot of sleep. My mom's the same way. Like, she would go on like 4 to 6 hours of sleep, and she would function just fine. I think some people are just like that, because I literally, like, I've tried going to bed earlier and I just wake up earlier. Like, it makes no difference if I go to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or midnight. After 4 to 6 hours, my eyes want to just pop open. And so it's just kind of who I am as a person, I guess. I don't know. My body just is like, okay, we're done here. We're done with the sleep. You've had enough. Time to get moving. And so I'll look at the clock. I'm like, not at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not. I may not need sleep, but everybody else does. So when I go to sleep early, it's kind of useless, because everybody else is still asleep, and though my brain is awake, my body doesn't like want to get out of the nice warm bed. So it's kind of a waste of hours, if you will, because I'm not getting up and going and doing all kinds of fancy stuff at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not doing the dishes at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not folding laundry or exercising at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know that there are people out there who exercise at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I am not that person. I can say with all the confidence in the world that I have not ever been that person who really wants to exercise at 4 o'clock in the morning. I think that's just kind of probably just like a self-discipline thing, where people want to get up, or they do get up, whether or not they want to get up. I don't know. I think you really have to have a passion for it, though, if you are getting up at that time to do physical activity. I'm not there. I'm not there. And though I really should, now that I'm on this side of the hill, I do need to move my body more. I'm going to try. I'm trying to do things for my health, take care of my body, but sometimes that white bread is just calling my name. That white flour and sugar. I don't know if y'all are Leanne Morgan fans, but I just love her accent, and she's got like a skit that she does, and she's like, I used to wear them itty bitty breeches. I remember those days. I did too, but I wore them because I wasn't finding my value in Jesus. But I was wearing them itty bitty breeches, and I looked so good, and I could eat the white flour and sugar, and it didn't do nothing to me. And now I can't have it. Like, yeah, same. Can't have it. I can't have that white flour and sugar. Although when the snow came, I fell off that wagon pretty hard. I normally make cinnamon rolls when it snows, or when we have like weather like that, cold weather. But I had one kid who really wanted pancakes, another kid who really wanted the cinnamon rolls, and so we made a compromise, and I made cinnamon swirl pancakes, And then instead of syrup, we had my homemade Christmas jam. And if you've ever had my Christmas jam, that it's like, it's bomb. I don't know. It's like so stinking good. It's got cranberries and strawberries and the cinnamon type spices. So good. So good. So bad for my body at the moment though, because this side of the hill is not the hill where you get to eat that kind of stuff willy-nilly and think, oh, I'll burn it off. I'll go for a walk later and it'll be fine. That doesn't work when you're over 40. Well, it don't work for me over 40, that's for sure. One little walk to fix that is not the thing. It doesn't work for me. So I'm almost done. This is how it's looking. If you think it looks like I'm making a volcano, it kind of looks like that to me too. We'll see how it goes. I did not do one of these before today, so we're doing this experiment together. We will see how it turns out. So, and if you are catching me on replay, because I leave my videos up on Facebook, so you can catch them on replay if you can't stick with me live, your schedule's not allowing for it. If you catch me on replay, please comment #replay so that I know that you've seen it, and it kind of boosts my stuff in the algorithm, the secret combination of algorithm situation. I don't know. That's a word that I'm using a lot here recently, and I'm just trying to play the Facebook game or the technology game of how do I get people to know that I'm out here doing this stuff? Oh, you have to boost the algorithm. Okay, well, how do I do that? Well, people have to see you. And no, I'm like, okay, this is a fun little carousel that we're on, but how? And so I just need the people who do to react, preferably with like a heart or a laughy thing, because that also boosts the algorithm. And then comment if you can, and you know, like just do all the algorithm things that we do. So trying not to completely soak this thing out so that we can get it dry, because this is actually, I mean, you can see a lot of lines on this where I put my stuff down. I'm not going to leave it like this. I am going to paint it. I know we paint and we put texture down and then we paint. We could have left it and we painted because I didn't want it to be see-through, but I did not consider the layers, the look of the layers. So we are going to paint this now. Whim decision. So hopefully this won't be too long of a video. I'm going to go ahead and dry this just a tad before I flip it. At least this bottom part. Oh. If whoever is out there watching, if you know Miss Cat, could you please shoot her a text and let her know that I'm doing a live right now, and I will call her back shortly. Shoot her a text, be like, Sandra told me to tell you. My life is crazy. My life is crazy. Fine. But beautiful. I love it so much. So, at this point, if I wanted to put that that rim on here, it would probably work well at this point to do the rim, because having this this paper on here gives it texture. I'm not going to do it right now just because I'm trying to, again, keep this video on the shorter side of things. But if you wanted to put a little edge around this, you could, and that would look really cool. And then after I did that, I would just go over that again with the paper, so that I know that it's not going to come off as it dries, because that clay does shrink and move while it dries, and I don't want it to unstick. So that's why I usually put it on with the first layer, so that when I go over it with my decoupage, whatever I'm using for that, it's got something holding it on. And that's why I like to go over the lip of the bowl. So, all right, that's dryish. Okay, and now I'm going to try to get this off. There we go. There we go. That worked. And now I'm just going to put my stuff around the rim. Now I'm planning on putting this bowl on my shelf up there. Nobody's going to be looking inside of it, but even if they were, say I decided I wanted to move it down, you know, onto my entertainment center where you could see in, I would probably paint down just a little bit with my paint that we're gonna use over it, and then I would just fill the rest with like bowl fillers of some sort. So you see how I'm going into the bowl with this, and that's going to hang on for dear life in there, and make sure that my clay doesn't come off the bowl. And I'm just trying to kind of squishy it in there as much as I can. And get that. And you just got to remember that we're not looking for perfection, okay? Primitive things are not perfect, and that is perfect for me because I don't create perfect products ever. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for the general look, right? Because it is a homemade piece, and I just think about this stuff, you know, later on when I'm gone and a great-grandchild having one of these pieces up on their shelf and saying, my grandma made this or my great-grandma made that, and, you know, it being something special to them. Or my mom made it. Yeah. Arabella's sitting here with me watching me do this. This is a little crafting homeschool lesson for her this morning to watch, I guess. They do art projects to put in at the fair, and the past couple of years we've been in a mad rush in August, September, and October to get everything completed for the fair. September? And I really do not, I don't enjoy that part. So I'm hoping that we can complete something.
I don't like that part. I like the Ferris wheel part.
Oh, she likes the rides at the fair. But I just don't like feeling like I'm so rushed. So I'm hoping that we can get some things done during the year. You know, just make it part of our normal crafting life, getting those fair projects done so that we're not last minute trying to think of things and being like, oh, well, if we would have started this 6 months ago, it would be so beautiful, but now we have to rush it and it doesn't get to be as good a quality as we would want it to be. Or let's just not do that because it's going to take too long and we've got too many other projects to do. So that's, you know, that's something that that's a goal we're working towards, is just trying to be more, no. Can you see what's going on, please, my love? Just trying to be more planning ahead and getting stuff done that we know that is going to need to be done, so that we're not freaking out at the last minute, thinking, what in the world did we do to ourselves again? We did it again. I got home alone. We slept in again. We forgot that we were supposed to be working on things again. This is why I don't like having my TV, because the kids do their schoolwork and they're done with their chores and they're like, can we turn on the TV? And I want to say no, but then I forget about all the other stuff that they can be working on. And so I'm like, sure, but really they have plenty of stuff that they can be doing instead of shutting their brains off and watching TV. So need to get in that habit. Okay, so good enough there. Put that in. Clean that off a bit.
Hey, Liv and Maddie is kind of teaching.
No, Liv and Maddie is not teaching at all.
Yeah.
Disney is not the teachingest thing.
Yes, it is.
It's not the teachingest shows you could watch. I'm just gonna tear off this super long
stuff
one.
that Dad watches.
Dad watches some educational things. We learn all about what's going on
Crossing the border.
Crossing the border and all the busts that they do with that.
And getting alcohol.
Yeah, they do that. They catch people bringing all kinds of bad stuff through.
Right. No one ever.
We like documentary style stuff. I usually put on like gardening and homesteading shows, but he likes suspenseful stuff, so he likes to watch. He likes to watch like the game warden shows, and
he likes to watch Homestead.
And he does like watching my Homestead shows though, so which is good because then he gets all inspired.
Not the Homestead on Angel though.
Okay. He gets inspired to build me more gardening things and animal things and other things that I like. He's just so sweet. He thinks of me all the time and what I like to do and, you know, what I'm interested in. And then he thinks of ways to help me along with that. So I just love him so much. Such a sweet husband. I know, Gag, I know. So, here we go. How's that looking? It looks kind of like it, huh? The lines are not perfect. It's okay. We're going to pick the one side that looks the best, and that'll be the front. It'll probably be right there. I like that right there. That doesn't look too bad. But we'll see. Okay.
Why are you going to paint over it?
Huh?
Why are you going to paint over
Because I
it?
don't like the lines of all the tea bags.
Maybe it was your coffee notch.
Maybe it was. But it wasn't. It's just the lines from the tea bags where they start and stop and overlap and stuff. So that's how it's going right now. Definitely not looking like the Dollar Tree store bowl that it is. Okay. Now I'm going to get me a little plate here.
You've been feeding us breakfast lately. Now I'm hungry.
Now you're hungry? Well, go find something. There's still biscuits from yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Is that all the rest of the food?
No. Okay. That's looking a little funky. I don't like that one. Oh, wait. You know what? I think... Yeah, that's actually a nice color. I was thinking that it wasn't. Okay. So this, I'm just going to use... Okay. I was looking for one of my smaller sponge brushes, but I guess I don't have that. I want to use kind of like a chippy type brush then. I don't have... Here we go. That's a good one.
The one that you had,
So this is the Waverly chalk paint that I've added the coffee grounds to, the instant coffee, just from Dollar Tree. Instant coffee from Dollar Tree. And then I've just watered it down some. And it's given me this nice kind of light brown color. It's very...
I like that color.
Stoneware color. And that's just what we're going for.
It's like my third favorite color.
That's your third favorite color?
Yeah.
Let me just do the top here too.
Next to purple and, what was it? Teal.
Purple and teal are your favorite colors next to this one?
Yeah.
Very cool.
But my first ones are baby blue and baby pink.
Baby blue and baby pink are your absolute favoritist. Your most favorite.
And purple
Okay.
and baby.
So up close, you can see the lines. From up on the shelf, you won't be able to see exactly. You might be able to see some texture, which is good. That's something that I like. Because when you look at a stoneware crock or bowl, you can tell that it's not smooth glass, right? Like you can tell that it's that it's made from clay or porcelain or whatever it is. Just try and get this top. And then I can flip it over if I dry it a bit. Getting this going. Dry it and then flip it. I'll probably flip it back onto my little pan there. That way I can flip the whole pan over if it doesn't want to give. And it won't disrupt my whole life. This is so much fun. I love doing this with y'all. I love crafting and talking to y'all. It's so much funner than doing the reels where it's just like my hands. I know it's more convenient for y'all, so I'll probably continue to do those. I just haven't had time recently to do more reels, but I will be. More reels for y'all. Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that the hair dryer that you usually use?
No.
It looks like it.
My oldest daughter coming in, if you hear the door squeaking.
Where'd she go?
She went to walk, run, exercise. My beautiful girls. So, I also love watching craft videos. And the place where I go to watch craft videos is a group called Craft Around the Clock. Craft Round the Clock. And they have live creators all throughout the day. One will go for an hour and then the next one will go for an hour. I think they actually go for 45 minutes, but it's every hour on the hour. And so if you're not in that group, go join it. I'm not a presenter over there, but I love that group so much. Very close to my heart. Very sweet women over there. all very supportive of one another. And they are just fantastic. Love them. Okay, moving that over. I'm going to bring this over here. Trying to juggle things a little bit. My fear here is that I'm going to flip this over onto my tray and it's going to stick and then rip everything off. So I'm just going to sit here and dry it for a good minute. Give it a really good dry because I do not want that happening, but I need to get to the bottom easily so I can see on the sides and everything. But I love this color. It's a beautiful color for this project. And the good thing is that by flipping this over and doing this part, if I did like misshape the clay at all while I've been painting and moving it around and stuff, it'll kind of go back a bit. So, okay, I'm feeling pretty good now. So say a little prayer for me as I stick this back over, that it does not stick. So I'm just gonna do this real quick and hopefully it doesn't stick. And if it does, I will try to save my tears for off camera. Just kidding. Just kidding.
What tears?
What tears? You know, like my meltdown tears. I don't really do that much anymore. When I was younger, I was more emotional.
When Ryan's mean to you.
When Ryan's mean to me. Ryan's not really mean to me. My son Ryan, he's 19. It's just that it's hard for me to see him grow up and have like his own plans and stuff. And so when I'm like, hey, get in the car, we're going here, he's like, oh, I can't. I'm going to meet my friends, or I'm going to the gym, or I'm going to work. Like, I'm like,
I'm going with Nick.
Don't say their names. Okay, so you hear my daughter just chit-chatting away with me. My little Arabella, she's just dying to get on camera. Maybe in one of the future crafts, I'll have my daughters on and I'll bring the camera out a bit so we can fit 3 in the live and you can see us work together. And that'll be fun. That'll be fun. So, my middle daughter, Lily, she has a YouTube channel. She does Get Ready With Me. And she likes to post a lot of reels and stuff. Shorts. They're called shorts over there. Whatever. The tiny clip video things that are fun and fancy. They're shorts on YouTube. And she... So if you want to give her a follow over there, that would be good. Or subscribe or whatever it's called. So my daughter's helping me with all the spots I missed. We're at the stage in life where if it's 3:58 and I say it's 4 o'clock, I get corrected. That's the age we're at. That's okay. All of my kids have gone through it. All the moms know the age. She's making a face. So she's going to help me stay straight. You know, keep it together. Whatever it is to keep. Right? We all need somebody keeping us straight. All right.
It didn't suction.
It didn't suction. Praise the Lord. All right.
This time.
Yeah, it's because I made sure to get this good and dry. So there we go. Got that looking all cool. Now, So I remember my grandma used to have these bowls, and on her bowls, she always had, the ones that she had always had blue lines on them. So I'm going to get my blue. I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know if this blue is dark enough. But she would do a blue. The ones that she had a blue line on them, and or a couple blue lines actually. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of that. I don't need a whole lot. And then I'm going to add some instant coffee to it to darken it up a tad. Which one's open? I think that's open. Over here clanking around. Got blue paint all over me. I am messy, y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all are as messy as your children, but it's kind of a running joke around here between my husband and I, that I am messier than our children. He likes to tell me that. Have I ever seen what?
Have you ever seen her eat peanuts?
Oh, she's asking y'all if you've ever seen me
peanuts.
shell peanuts and eat them. I'm very messy with peanuts.
Very messy.
I am very messy with the peanuts.
I love them.
She too is messy with the peanuts, though. I don't think that there's anybody who is not messy with shelling peanuts and doing all that jazz. Okay. I just put a little bit of that coffee in there, and I'm going to use, actually I can just use my stick over here. I don't like to go through products very fast. I like to kind of preserve what I have because I don't make it to the store very often, and
yeah, you don't. Dad goes the most. Yeah,
Dad goes for us. Okay. So this is lighter than I want it. Like, it's getting that nice, cool, like warm, cool, neat, not cool. It's getting that awesome warmness to it, but I need a little bit more blue. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my enamel paint, and I've got like a royal blue here that I'm going to mix in with it, and that's going to give me a little bit better. I have mixed this enamel paint with my chalk paint before, and it turned out fine. Although I might have to put in more of the coffee grounds to make it, to give it like really the color that I'm wanting. I want it to have that brown antique-y discoloration to it. And so you can always tell what I'm thinking because my speech gets real slow. I'm like, I start glitching. That's funny. All right, that's bluer and browner.
I hate when people glitch.
You hate when people glitch?
Yes.
Wow.
Then they move on to a different, like,
topic.
Word. Yeah, and, like, I don't know what they're saying.
She's talking about me right now. Not everybody does that. That's just me. Okay.
Well, sometimes.
I've got this word, whatever this is called.
Basically hay.
It's
fake hay.
It's like straw, but it's not Excelsior. It's something else. Can't remember. I couldn't remember the last time I did a live either, and somebody needed to remind me. Because that's just who I am as a person. I'm going to flip this over again. Make it easier on myself. And I'm just going to make a line. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not, and that's okay. I'm going to do this a little bit longer. Got some in my bowl. There we go. Wiped right off. Okay. So take it around and around. I'm just going to slide it a bit. And I really should have Got it on my tray. Come back, tray. All right. If you don't want the blue line, or if this looks too complicated, that's fine too. I just really like the blue line. And I'm gonna try to make it the prettiest in the front where I want it, but and you know, on the original ones, that blue line was not always consistent, right? It would be smeared also sometimes, and even on like the Stoneware Crocs, the labels are smeared sometimes. Like, it's okay. Like, this project has me built in. The imperfection of Sandra Waldrop. I'm built into this project. So I'm just gonna go around it like that and make my 2 blue lines. We are just about done, except I've got one more little trick up my sleeve for this project, because I want it to look not just antique, but I kind of want it to, I want to give it character of like the grunginess. I love the grungy look. So I'm just going to add a little bit of grunge to this project, and you'll see. Okay, so let me just show you how this turned out. Again, not perfect, okay? We weren't looking for perfect. We were just looking for those blue lines. And this is exactly what I was going for, okay? I know you're like, wow, it's smudged. It's, you know, they're not perfect. And that's literally this style. It's perfect. I love it. Look at that. It looks so neat. I love it so much. What would look really cool in here as a bowl filler is just some coffee beans. If you have some old coffee beans that have been sitting in your pantry for a while, you're not going to use them because they've already expired or whatever, which I do have a can of old coffee beans that I'm going to bring out and I'm going to put in here.
What?
Because, yes. And then, and if I wanted to, I could do another black candle and turn this into a little lamp type thing, or I could make some hearts and put it in here. It's just really a very, you know, a bowl. It's a bowl. You can put anything in here. It would work beautifully as like a little vase. Yes, love.
Where did your little bowl that you got for Christmas go?
My little bowl that I got for Christmas.
Your wooden bowl.
Oh, it's the kitchen. Yes, it's in the cupboard. It was up there, but it's actually for using in the kitchen. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to get out the regular Mod Podge because I want it to dry clear, and I need it to be stickier than my regular
sticks to your hands.
Than my regular coffee podge that I've got over here. Okay. And this is why my lids always stick, because I don't ever clean the rim before I put my lid on. I just slap it back on there. Okay, I'm going to use a little paintbrush. I'm going to put some more coffee grounds into my coffee lid. No. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my Mod Podge, tap that, and I'm just going to put that on there. A little bit more. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth with it in the areas where I want it. And I kind of want it to goopy on there, okay? Just like really goop it on. because it's going to dry goopy like that. See that? It looks like I've had some food in there, some nice goodies. Been mixing up some pudding or jam, cake mix, something. Some life has been happening with this bowl. That's what I like. We are not a perfect decor family. My stuff is not thousands of dollars from a decorator's store. It is grungy, it is primitive, but I love it. I love it. It's so cute. And I'm not perfect, so.
No,
Our feet are not perfect?
Yes.
My 9-year-old is cracking 9-year-old jokes over here. She says our feet are not perfect. Actually, ma'am, I have fancy feet, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to kind of drip this down a bit since that paint dried. I don't know if y'all can hear my stomach growling. I apologize. I normally eat before my lives, but I just had other things on my mind this morning. Normally I cook myself some eggs, so I get a nice protein-packed breakfast.
We've been eating eggs a lot.
We've been eating eggs a lot. Well, our girls are in high production mode, so we have a lot of eggs.
I'm sick of it.
I think I'm going to make some pasta here pretty soon. I might do that on a live. Make some pasta for,
Breakfast?
not for breakfast. Make homemade pasta live on one of my lives, probably closer to Valentine's Day, because pasta is kind of a romantic dish. Maybe you want to make some homemade pasta for Valentine's Day. So when we were living in Odessa years and years ago, this is upwards of 10 years ago, it was Valentine's Day, and we had no money in the bank for us to go out, my husband and I, for us to pay a babysitter, for us to go out and have dinner. But I wanted to do something special for him for Valentine's Day. So what I did was I made homemade heart-shaped raviolis. I got out my cookie cutters. I made homemade raviolis for him, and he loved it.
Now we don't eat raviolis.
We don't eat raviolis because I haven't made them homemade, and we have allergies in this house, so it's really the best.
But when Grandma comes over, she brings stuff.
When Grandma comes over, she likes to feed my kids the junk,
and she likes to give us like toys and stuff.
Please don't have the table today. Yeah. So, all right. So I've grunged it. Look at that. Oh, I love it. It looks like somebody's been going to town, cooking, baking, doing something, mixing something delicious in this bowl. All right. Y'all are probably cracking up with my faces, looking at my kid like, shh. Real life going on over here, y'all. I'm going to ask you to go get dressed, though. All right, so there it is. All right. And that's my live today. Thank you all for coming on with me. I tried to keep it under an hour. I did not. I failed miserably. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. But anyways, thank you for jumping on with me, and I hope y'all enjoy your day. Thank you for homemaking a homemade home with me today. Bye, y'all.